on a grape. Oh, hi there, little friend. Did you get lost? Oofda, this wall's smelling pretty funky. Yum hasn't been taking good care of you guys. What's your name?
Nova. My name is Nova.
Cool name.
If it's okay, could you please fix the temperature inside the wall?
Sure, easy peasy. Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, and my husband, he...
Okay, you take care now.
In this video, I talked to the hilarious comedian and voice actor Mary Mack, known from her role as Jessie in Hulu's Solar Opposites, as well as her stand-up comedy featured on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and The Conan O'Brien Show.
I was telling Ross here that I'm infatuated with the UK, and I mostly just watch UK TV or BBC, or like things streaming on BritBox, or oh my gosh. Oh, and then I have the PBS, our public broadcast system partners with BBC. I just watched Prime Suspect Tennyson. Do you have that there? The prequel to Prime Suspect with Helen Mirren?
I don't know. I've not seen it.
Yeah, so like you're asking me about Game of Thrones, and before you recorded Game of Thrones, I'm like I never saw it one time. I only see it. Yeah. I only watch like Poirot and Agatha Christie stuff, and then so mostly like, you know, Foyle's War, and like of course Midsummer Murders. They're gonna run up. I mean, everybody's going to be dead in that town soon because everybody gets murdered weekly. Yeah. And then, anyway, so we took our honeymoon there in 2013. We went to England and Scotland and Wales, and people are like, oh, the food's going to be so blah. It's like the best food we ever had. We live mostly in Minnesota and some in Wisconsin, and that's like the upper northern, a lot of Scandinavians in the U.S. And we thought the food in England was so good, and it was the best pizza I ever had in my life. It was at this place called Pizza Express. Have you heard of it? It's so good. I went there on one of those bikes. You can rent a bike, and it's so much cheaper to rent a city bike there than it is in the U.S. Like, they just rip people off in the U.S. And in England, it's very affordable, and I rode it across the London Bridge, and then I rode it back over. I saw the Bigelow Tea, and then I went to Pizza Express, and it was fantastic. I never even had a pizza with chicken on it before, and I think that's what I got, but I'm not sure because I drank a lot in England.
That's what you do in England. That's all you really do.
Yeah, it's like very much like Wisconsin or Minnesota, I should say.
So how was it that you got into comedy, and what was it that made you get into it?
Okay, well, I went to school for music, so I have 2 degrees in music. I have like my bachelor's of music and woodwinds emphasis, and then I have a master's in conducting, instrumental conducting. Yeah, it's all performing, right? But I like performing, and I started where I went to grad school. I started a polka band, and I had a polka band for like 5 years, and I was also, you know, teaching music and conducting youth orchestra. But I really liked that if you screwed up in polka, you could make it fun, and then I just would rather perform, so I just took like a side job, and so I could concentrate on my polka band, which was that's not even a good plan D. But then what happened was the band broke up because we were in a part of the country where it's not a really big deal, like it is more so up north you can make kind of a living doing it a little bit. And our band broke up because we were in Nashville, Tennessee, which is not the polka music capital by any means. But we did like really fun shows, like polka music and like some sketch, and just changed all kinds of weird all kinds of like rock songs into polka music, and we had such a fun time. But broke up, and then I missed performing, and I play woodwind, so I couldn't just go somewhere with my clarinet and play. I didn't think, because I thought maybe you need like another band with you or other musicians.
I have 2 degrees in clarinet, so that's why I do comedy. Clarinet never came in handy for anything unless maybe like you're driving and then you hit a deer and you don't have a crowbar in your trunk to put it out of its misery. Yep. Yeah, last time I hit a deer, I had my clarinet with me, and I only got through like 2 songs and he was out.
So I didn't have that, and so my roommate at the time, she was our drummer, and she would just sign me up for random open mics and not tell me what they were, and she signed me up for like some comedy ones, and I loved it because I got to be creative, and nobody laughed, but I didn't care because I'd been used to teaching band, right, and where the kids were like so loud. So when I got in front of an audience that just sat there and listened, I was like, I can't believe they're listening to me. I didn't even care if they laughed, because I was like, this is amazing. They're just sitting there listening. Most comics would have quit at that point if people weren't laughing. But I basically had been through like, it was beginning band and then junior high band, and they were just so loud and obnoxious that just to go somewhere where they were quiet was like, I was hooked.
You've been on like Conan multiple times and Jimmy Fallon's show.
Yeah.
Is that more scary or pressure or less scary than a sort of more intimate like comedy club show?
Well, it depends on your situation and your circumstances for like the Conan ones were fine, but I had COVID the full 2 weeks before doing Jimmy Fallon, and so I just tested negative the day before going on the air, so I didn't even know I was going to do it till then. And then I kept losing my voice, so it was just basically like getting out of bed and then going on TV. I was like, oh, it wasn't ideal.
I took a class, it was called How to Slow Your Breathing Down in Case You Fall Through the Ice. But it wasn't even taught by like a expert or a park ranger. It's just some guy who fell through the ice and figured it out.
I had so many secondary problems too from COVID. I had these like, I had like an infected cyst in my throat that like a couple days after doing the show, it swelled up like the size of a golf ball. I couldn't stand on stage for at least 4 months without having to sit because it did something to my legs, or like where I would just shake by standing. It's such a weird illness. You don't know how it's going to affect you. And I had the weirdest reactions. So and I still don't have smell. I have smell like every few days. But it's been a year. It's been almost a year since I was on. It's been a year and 4 days since I was on Fallon, and I love doing that stuff. I just wish it could always be ideal conditions, because it's so cool the way everything works and everybody has their job, and you're part of this big team, and they have so much fun. It's really cool to get to be a part of those shows.
Yeah. And obviously your comedy has kind of altered to a degree, because obviously you're Jesse in Solar Opposites.
Ooh, smells like all 101 Dalmatians took a shit in here. Whoa, Disney standards and practices are already calling me? The voicemail you go.
How did that role come about?
Yeah. Well, before that, I had, in 2013, I had a cartoon on regular network TV. And then the network changed entertainment directors, and they replaced the two lead characters with like I'm just basically a comic, and then they replaced the two leading characters with celebrities. And so I lost my job then, and then I just, I've always just done road work for comedy. I love to do live shows, and so I just continued with that. And then after a few years, I was like, I used to have a cartoon, and apparently I have agents that represent me. And I don't know why for many years I didn't even think about it, but I was like, how come I'm not auditioning for cartoons? I mean, that's how busy you get with your road work and your comedy career, because it's like, it's a small business. You're advertising, it's so exhausting, advertising nonstop and driving and traveling and booking hotels and doing all this. It's just like running a business, and you got your merchandise, and you're your own store, you're your own PR. So you forget about other things that you could do or you used to do.
Ready? And I am not the victim. I am the killer.
And so I just probably had some downtime, and I was like, asked my comedy agent, I was like, because I book a lot on my own, and then I have a fellow who books me at KMR Talent. We work together and take some of his shows. And I said, hey, Stu, how come I'm not auditioning for things? And they sent me an audition just to shut me up. Like I was never even a thought in their eyes, because I didn't have an agent for my last cartoon in 2013. I had just got that off of somebody saw me at Montreal 8 years prior in 2008, or 5 years prior, remembered my name and then asked me to audition, and I auditioned and I got it. So I did that, on my own. And then I just said, hey, I should be auditioning, like, this is an agency, right? And they just sent me a script, and I auditioned, and I got a call back, and I at that time you had to still be in LA to do all this stuff. So I went in for my callback in person. It was 2017 or 18 maybe. And went in for my callback, and I got it. So that's how I got it, was just by remembering that I used to do cartoons. So what, and there's very few people, like, it's one of the shows that actually would hire you, because to other people in the States, I have kind of an accent from living up north and growing up in Minnesota and Wisconsin. And I like it when I can audition for people who aren't from the United States, because they don't know that I have an accent. They just think I'm doing a character, which is like makes it easier to audition.
Someone want to roast me so I can eat?
Oh, I got one. Corvo, you're so blue, the sky is like, hey, give me back my color. Oh, gotcha.
Fuck you, Jesse. I can't believe you would say that. Words can hurt.
Because I can't really change a lot of the sounds. A lot of my sounds, I have no control over how I pronounce things. So I maybe it's more like being Cockney. Can those people change their accents at all? Because I can't change how I say O's. And in fact, it's almost like it's sad, because there will be, TikTok has this, like, these people who show you how to do accents. And one time they pulled up my character, Jessie, and they showed you how to do Jessie. My husband showed me this, how to do Jessie. And then the woman said, you can't really do Jessie because she has a speech impediment. And I'm like, oh, it's just, that's fine. That's how I talk.
This is a higher tone, but it's like right here higher, not head voice higher. Very frontal. Lots of nasal stuff going on, and there's some speech impediment stuff going on. For this one, really mimic the image of the character. Her mouth is super wide, and leave your tongue toward the bottom of your mouth. That's going to help you to create that speech impediment. She's not a super fast talker, but she leaves very little room between her sentences. Put it together, and it sounds something like, "We're performing our routine behind my back."
And so it's like, how come, people they think they're so worldly, but, they need to go to some rural places up north and some small towns and look at all of us who have this speech impediment. There's quite a few of us. So it's frustrating in some ways, but at least that cartoon hired me, and the cartoon before that could hire me because it was based in Minnesota. So that was perfect for me, and it was a comedy, and it was a kid, so I have a hired voice, so I could play kids' parts. But yeah, I mean, I forgot what the question was, but I also do another cartoon on Disney Plus called Kif. And they're from South Africa, so the people who run it, so they just think that I'm doing a character, and it's amazing.
If this show is great, then we can do a better musical next year.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Plant the seed now, enjoy the crop next year. Get it?
Because I would have been fired a long time ago if those people were from the United States. Because I can't change. I can only change it if I do like a southern drawl. I can change a little bit if I do kind of like, y'all are coming over for Christmas, right?
They teach a shiv making class on weekends.
Why?
Yumulek, you know what they say. Give a man a shiv, he shivs for a day. Now teach a man to shiv.
This place is horrible.
And so I could do something like that. I still had an old problem in there, but or I could change it a little bit if I just pretend like I'm from New York or something, or Boston or something like that.
Do you have a favourite line of Jessie's, or one that you might have improvised?
Yeah, I did improvise one, and then they gave somebody else credit. You don't ever get any credit for your improvised lines, You do, but you don't. We don't need, the writers are so good, you don't really need to do much of anything, It's like, it's just fun to say stuff.
The f*** are all these extra planets?
The invisible ones the humans don't know about yet. Earth 4, Megan the Planet, and Varanus.
We can't tell people about those.
I think it was second or third season. It's when they go to the wooden, everything's made out of wood. It's their vacation, their yearly vacation. She's always like, just the fact that her hopes and dreams, like she's like, I can say it's so stupid. I'm gonna get my real estate license. Like it's just stupid. Her dreams are so. They kind of got away from that a little bit with Jessie in the following seasons. That she's so by the book, and I hope that they go back to it a little bit.
I want to experience the uniquely human activities I've always dreamed about, like waiting in line at the DMV, paying taxes, and having jury duty.
Like, there's another line like, how long does it take to sexually awaken? And just like, she wants to know facts, numbers, details. It's really fun, but there's so many lines, right? Everybody has so many lines. There's so many good ones, but I hope people watch it. 5th season will be coming out this year. We're doing a couple pickups next week, which is, pickups are when you have to, something isn't lining up, or you have to say something a little different, or they change the line, so you go in and re-record a couple lines. But something exciting for me, I want to say this about the show. And we were on strike last summer, so I didn't get to go to Comic-Con. We boycotted Comic-Con for SAG. But I get to work with Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey.
What's new at the big house? Sybil, mainly. She's discovered politics, which of course makes Papa see red.
I admire Sybil's passion, though. I told you not to throw metal around here. We're going to be late to work. Stop buggering about.
So my other two guys that I work with, I know one of them from stand-up comedy world, Thomas Middleditch. I knew him, so I have not seen his show he was on, Silicon Valley. So I haven't seen that, but I did see his Verizon commercial, which was very good, cell phone commercial. But and I didn't see Sean Gambroni. He had a show called The Goldbergs, and I haven't seen that. But because I only watch British television, I did know that Dan Stevens was the young Crowley son on Downton Abbey, and I got so nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, I only know British actors. So I was like, oh, okay, I might have to sit next to him at our Comic-Con panel, and I'm gonna make a big dork out of myself because I'm gonna be like bugging him about. So I said to the show producer, I'm like, you better put somebody between me and Dan Stevens so I don't irritate him too much, because I was so excited because I loved that. I loved Downton Abbey so much. It was such trash and done so. It was like the most scenic film type, beautiful shooting and the trashiest show. I just love the combination of soap opera with high-end cinematography, and I just loved it. And I was like, oh god, I mean, this is probably what most people feel like with like American actors, but I don't know enough about American TV to know those actors unless it was like from the 90s. So yeah, anyways, yeah, so I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about Comic-Con this year if we're going to do anything in it. I did not go to our Christmas party this year because I just had so much going on. That was last week, so I could have flown out there and maybe met him then, but I just had a lot going on. So
Comic-Con will be your first time meeting him, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they got I forgot his first name, the Crowley. I don't know if they have any Downton Abbey figurines, or bobbleheads, but I should get one and have him sign it, even though we're coworkers. I guess he does some American television too, but I don't know what it is other than this cartoon. I guess other people know him from American TV. You gotta share this link with me so I can send it to people and show them how worldly I am that I know people from England. In Sheffield?
Yeah, Sheffield.
Are you famous for any type of a meat pie? I'm infatuated with meat pies.
I think the biggest food thing is Henderson's relish.
What?
Which is like,
is that the hot spicy No, that's Coleman's.
It's like I can't even describe what it is, but people do put that on pies and stuff.
Oh, I gotta get some.
Yeah, that's a big Sheffield thing.
When I do shows in Utah, which is like, it's like over a day to get to Utah, right? It's like 24 hours away to drive it. But when I do shows there's this British place, and I always buy the Coleman's mustard. So now I'll look for Henderson's relish.
Yeah, you should try that. Yeah. And
I'll be in the know. For Sheffield, doesn't Sheffield have anything? Something else. Wait, I'm gonna Google it right now. I hate saying Google. Boo, I'm gonna look it up. I'm going to research it right now. What is Sheffield?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it popped up right away. What is Sheffield famous for? Okay, steel products.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing.
Huh. Oh, you're in Yorkshire.
Yeah, that's right.
Still, today it is recognized for its vibrant cultural scene, including art galleries, theaters, and music venues. Sheffield is also famous for its green spaces, with over 250 parks, woodlands, and gardens, earning it the nickname the Outdoor City. Technically, every city is outdoors.
Yeah. I've never actually heard that.
Somebody's just making this crap up. Oh, chat GPT, boo, boo, boo. You're just making crap up. Whoa, Ross, did you know this? The Sheffield fish cake is known across the UK as many other things.
No, I didn't know that either.
Patty's, Yorkshire fish cake. I bet you I make fish cake and don't even know it. But be assured, it is as Sheffield can be. I can't wait to go back to England so I can get some of that sweet, sweet Sheffield fish cake.